What's going on, everybody? Tuki here, back again. It is playoff time for your Hartford Whalers in our WHA 48-team Custom League Draft to Glory Series. Today, we see if we can go back-to-back as champions. Upon the conclusion of last season, you guys said, hey, keep this one going, and at least we are for one extra season. And I say that because, well, I'm recording this in the early stages of the 3rd of July, 2023, and obviously that means we're a couple days into NHL free agency, which means we are very close to the start of a new series or two. We're going to give it a couple of more days, wait for the dust to settle on the big names for free agency. Two more went off the list last night in Tyler Bertuzzi and Max Domi to the Toronto Maple Leafs, so we're going to give it a couple of days. There will be a roster update out for the Xbox Series consoles, of course, and then we'll see what's in store for us next. But today, 49 wins sees us back into the playoffs with this roster that I have switched up a little bit heading into the playoffs. Now, I am actually a little bit concerned, but we are moving Asher Moses to the second line. This guy is insane. 50-60 point guy in the regular season, and of course in the playoffs he was a stud and is nearly a point per game, despite the fact he's been primarily a third liner. He goes up to the second line this time to be with Delorier and Derek Bell. So we talked about keeping the lines the same for the sake of player development in the regular season, but now we optimize to try and give ourselves the best chance to win. The defense looks like this, and of course in goal, Scotty Ratzlaff earned it. I mean, he would have to really, well, there's no other way to put it. He'd have to really shit the bed for us to not run with them. And the AHL team as well has made the playoffs. We went best lines for them and adjusted a little bit for the sake of chemistry. And honestly, a -2 is the best we can get on the third pair. But might be Nick Russia's final run as the starter of this team. Trent Winchester, up to a 70 overall, has nearly passed him. This is, of course, a rematch from last season's final, where we knocked out Connor Bedard and the New York Raiders. This is what they look like for this matchup, featuring Jerry Fitz, the now 25-year-old Bedard, as he has nearly hit 900 career points. Oh, it's so stupid. He's got 2 years left on his contract, too. That's gross. Yanni Lapisto on the right, of course, depth forward, actually, at a 71 overall. Second line is Oren Centazzo alongside Ilis. I don't know. Of course, he's a playoff stats from last season. And Mats Kronwall, a second liner on the second line. Third line, Dmitry Kozhevnikov. Kozhevnikov. I have seen that name in this game for years, but tonight my brain just cannot compute. Alongside Connor Levis, Connor Jeans, and Victor Berry, the fourth line. Louis Zancanaro with Dominic Fiddler and Thomas Locke. So, yeah, that's an NHL caliber team by the standards of what this league is right now. Defensively, it's probably not going to be any better. Mark Shugihara is alongside Tuomo Iakkola. Second pair, Vladimir Mogilny with Colton Roberts. And a third pair of Igor Nikolishin with Gustavs Tursambayev. Their goaltender, 71 overall, Austin Copeland, who is a backup goaltender. Wasn't their starter last year, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see what happens. They got a couple of healthy scratches in there as well. It is, again, a very good team by the standards of what the entirety of the league looks like at this stage. We do have the advantage in terms of defense and goaltending. We are dead even in terms of offense. And obviously, you know, Connor Bedard's doing a lot of heavy lifting in that regard. It is game number 1, the finals rematch in round 1. Crazy. First period, 1-0 Raiders. Power play goal for Fiddler. Second period, a lot of goals, 2 apiece. Leave us shorthanded. Lack gets one. Landeskog and Kalle Ahonen for us. So we are within 1. So we sim the third and make it 2 again. Not the debut, the playoff debut performance. I mean, granted, it's his series debut, not his playoff debut. Ratzlaff hasn't been very good. It was 4 goals on 18 shots. Our offense is kind of stalling out. Cycla gets one. Is it too little, too late? 4.5 minutes to go. Looks like the Raiders are going to hold on, and they do. 4-3, the final score. Neither goaltender will be there, of course, in the 3 stars performances, but yeah, the biggest takeaway, not a great night for Scotty Ratzlaff, not a great night for Asher Moses. And if those two are struggling, it could be a bad, bad time for us. We'll jump into game 2 without changing anything. Why not? No need to overreact quite yet. First period, 2-1 Raiders. We scored first with Landeskog, but it's Bedard and Fitz. 2 goals in 18 seconds. Balls. Second period, oh my God. Bedard and Barry. Landeskog got another one. 4 goals on 18 shots for the second game in a row as we trade power plays. Ambul gets us back to within 1. Same situation as last game. I feel like I just went back in time. 4 minutes left. Can we find the tying goal? We can this time. It's Derek Bell who forces overtime. We're not going to jump in. We're going to save that for elimination games. But we have a chance. Can we somehow come back and steal game 2? Or will the Raiders have a 2-0 series lead heading back to New York? We need this next goal so badly. It's been a really rough start to this series for us. It looks like it might be double overtime on the agenda. And indeed, there it is. You know how this works. 5-second stops. Here we go. 1. Yep, there it is. 49 seconds into double overtime. It's Fitz. 4-point night. And we're down 2-0 to the Raiders. And we might have to consider some changes. Outscored 9-7 over the course of these first 2 games. That's not good. Oh, Scotty. What's happened to you, my man? What's happened? I guess you didn't get to play other teams to build up your confidence before shutting down the Raiders. That second pair has been abysmal. So we clearly need to make a change in defensive pairings. Bakos shouldn't be on the third pair, nor should Ivanov, but I mean, one of them has to be. Unless we were to call up Alan Skinner for burned Bakos. How did Bakos do in the regular season? I mean, Bakos wasn't bad. Yeah, it's tough. Somehow that's a -1. We'll go Bakos, Watkins, Ivanov, Stajan. Hope for the best. When it comes to the forwards, Landeskog has been awesome. Moses has struggled immensely. We're going to put Moses back on the third line. Jacques Delorier has not been great. Murray has been completely ineffective. And then Bell has also not been great, nor has Lindgren. Oh, shit. That's not great. That's not great at all. Okay, how do we want to counterbalance that? How do we want to counterbalance that? Oh, shit. Yeah, it's just Cycle is not a good fit. Not that Bell's been good either. But if we put Vukafuji on the top line with Misa and Landeskog, Bell, Ambul, Cycle, Lindgren, Delorier, Moses, gives us a little bit more depth. I think we're going to try that. And it's game number 3. Scotty, we need you. We need the Scotty Ratzlaff of last postseason to show up or we're in big trouble. First period, 2-1 Whalers. They scored first. It's Bakos and a power play goal from Landeskog. They outshot us, but we outscored them. Second period, oh God. Centazzo and Bedard. It's a revenge mission for the Raiders. And I don't know if we can stop them. Whole lot of power play time. They don't score, but they have killed off a lot of the clock. We can't stay disciplined. 7 minutes to go. Landeskog ties it. He is almost single-handedly keeping us in this series, and we go to overtime again. You cannot lose 2 overtime games in the first 3 games of a series and win it. It just doesn't happen. We need to win, and we did not. The New York Raiders have a 3-0 series lead on the Hartford Whalers. Wow. 1-goal games. But yet, here we are. A championship defense on the brink. Emil Vinny gets to start game 4. I'm so disappointed for and disappointed in Scotty Ratzlaff. Vitaly Ivanov is out. That guy has been brutal so far this postseason. It could be Chow that gets the call up. He's not playing very well. Samu Virtanen has been Providence's best defenseman in their playoff games so far. So we are going to welcome Mr. Virtanen into the conversation here. It'll be Dragicevic or Watkins who gets moved back to their natural side. So Virtanen's in. Not a good fit for the third pair at all. It's got to be Seidenberg. It can't be Bakos either. So it's Watkins, Dragicevic, or Seidenberg on that third pair. Right. Oof, that's not a very good fit either for those two. Okay. Bakos, Dragicevic, Seidenberg, Virtanen, Watkins, and Stajan. I think we can try it. We'll see if Samu Virtanen can kind of heat things up for us a little bit. When it comes to the forwards, Landeskog again has been amazing. 2 points and a -1 for Sekala. Asher Moses has disappeared. It almost feels like a fever dream. I hate to say it, Asher. You're going down to that lower line. 5 assists for Misa has been good, not great. Delorier has not shown up at all. So we'll see what we do about the centers. 2 points for Fukufuji. 1 point and a -3 for Bell. 1 point and a -2. Son of a bitch. Oh, boy. I mean, a +5 with Kalle Ahonen on that top line. That's interesting. Knowing that Bell and Lindgren have sucked doesn't really help. Can I avoid that -2 in any way? The answer is apparently no. Jesus. Really, I can't avoid that -2 no matter what the hell I do. Uh-huh. Well, we're going to have to just base it off of who's been the best as opposed to performance. We need Moses and Bell on that second line. Which doesn't help. Everybody else, though, can kind of be based on their performances and potential shortcomings. So we're going to try it. We knew we'd have to make some changes. Let's just go best lines in the AHL. We have no idea how the Providence Bruins are doing. And the answer is okay against the Texas Stars. It's game 4. Will our title defense end via sweep? First period, 2-2. Keith and Bell, Levis and Fitz. Second period, 4-2. Landeskog and Sekala on the power play. Up by 2 heading into the third period. We lose this game from here. Murray on the board. It's 5-2. We lose this game from here. I mean, we deserve to be swept. This should be ours. Up by 3. 6 minutes to go. And it might end up being a gentleman's sweep of losing in 5, but at least it won't be an outright sweep. We do win game 4, 5-2, and we stay alive. We finally got a really rock-solid goaltending performance. Emil Vinny was the man to hold us in it. Thank God for that. We needed that desperately. Desperately, desperately. We are alive by the skin of our teeth, but we are alive. Nothing else lineup-wise will change, aside from making sure that Emil is our starter for game number 5 back on home ice. All we can do, take it one game at a time. Can we win this? First period, 2-0 Whalers, Ahonen and Lindgren. Second period, 5-0 Whalers. Murray, Vukafuji, Keith. I'm going to quick sim the third period for the sake of time. We do win. 2 shorties. We made it 6-0. Lack ruins the shutout. 6-1. Your final score. Emil Vinny does it again. We go to game 6. My voice can't even hold on for this. Lineup stays the same. Emil Vinny is the goalie for now. Game number 6. There's no way we do this. There's just no way. A game I will not let you get my hopes up. I won't. First period, 1-1, Lack and Landeskog. Second period, 3-1 Raiders. There it is. Robertson, Levis. Down by 2. Make it 3. Emil tried, but winning 4 in a row against the Raiders was oh so unlikely. We avoided the sweep. We avoided the gentleman's sweep. But there will not be a Game 7 back in Hartford. The Raiders win the series in 6 and get revenge for last year's final, knocking out the defending champions. That hurts. Providence Bruins move on, which is nice, but that hurts. A real lack of secondary scoring amongst centers. Zane Murray, the youngster, really stepped up, getting onto that second line. Very disappointed in Jacques Delorier, who wasn't abysmal, but he wasn't great. Left wing side, Kalle Ahonen really did well moving up to that top line, but Derek Bell defensively was a bit disappointing. Again, like good general performances, but outside of Landeskog and Misa, no one stepped up. And the big difference here is Asher Moses had a miserable series. He was the key to that finals matchup last season. He didn't show up. Turned back into a pumpkin. And that's that. Shout out to Samu Virtanen. That performance may have just earned him a spot in the regular lineup next season. That's great. 3 points in 3 games, even rating. I think we will have some decisions on kind of what this roster will be next season. And you hate to say it, but Scotty Rotzloff, he deserved the chance to start the first 3 games of the series. He earned it from last year, but he sucked. He sucked. Emil Vinny tried. And if Emil Vinny had had the entire series, who knows what would have happened. But it is what it is. We are out. There will be no back-to-back championship for Hartford as Phoenix pulls off the upset over San Jose in 7. Portland knocks out OKC. Birmingham upsets Hamilton, who got swept. That's insane. Atlanta upsets Baltimore. Houston survives over Indy. We lose to New York. Vancouver sweeps Washington. And New Jersey survives Philly. So it's Phoenix, Portland, Birmingham, Atlanta, New York, and Houston, Vancouver, and New Jersey. As we'll pay attention to the Providence Bruins, who are up 1-0 on Grand Rapids. Make that 2-0. Make that 3-0. Back-to-back shutouts. There is no sweep, but there is a gentleman's sweep. The Providence Bruins have advanced to the semifinals as Vitaly Ivanov has 11 points in 8 games since being sent down as they take on the Vienna Capitals. And we'll take a look here at how the main finals are playing out. As Phoenix pulls off another upset of Portland. Atlanta beats Birmingham. The Raiders upset Houston. And New Jersey upsets Vancouver. So Phoenix, Atlanta, New York, New Jersey could very well be Bedard and the Raiders going right back to the finals. As we lose game 1 and game 2, outscored 7-2. Oh boy, Providence has run into a buzzsaw. They avoid the sweep. They force Game 6. They force Game 7. Oh my God, the Providence Bruins reverse sweep Vienna and move to the Calder Cup final, accomplishing the dream that the main club fell behind on. So shout out to the Providence Bruins, and there it is. Phoenix, 16th seed in name only with Theo Coe on that team, will face Connor Bedard and the New York Raiders, 16 versus 10 in the final. Phoenix and New York. We'll see what happens. For now, Providence up 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. The Providence Bruins. Do we want to see a Calder Cup run? A Calder Cup championship? I kind of do. I kind of want to put proper respect on it. Let's do it. Let's put proper respect on it. The Providence Bruins. A reverse sweep in the semifinal. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, well, no sweep in this series. Please don't live by the reverse sweep and die by the reverse sweep. Oh, if we lose Game 5, I'm calendar simming the rest of the series. I'm just throwing that out there right now. Let's see. 1-0, 2-0. Can the Providence Bruins get it done? They have dominated Game 5. Whitaker scores on Nicky Rue. Power play. I wish we could sim faster than a ×8. But here we are. Holding on for dear, dear life. Oh my God. I'm not watching the overtime. So let's see what happens. Double overtime. We're going to Game 6. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Okay. Please just win Game 6. Please. Please, God. Win Game 6. Thank you. The Providence Bruins have won the Calder Cup. And, oh man, is Phoenix going to upset New York? Yes, they are. The Phoenix Roadrunners, as the 16th seed, win the championship, beating New York in 6 back-to-back finals losses. Man, Phoenix gets it done, though, and we know, again, 16th seed in name only. Yeah, Theo Coe, they got Loic Daig, Kelly Dalton. I mean, yeah, 79, 80. Yeah, I mean, they're a much better team. Don't have the best goalie in the world, but they didn't need it. Oliver Bonk as well, Flyers legend. But shout out to the Providence Bruins winning the Calder Cup. We couldn't fully enjoy it, but Ken Glennie, Russ Ray, Justin the Goat Dezote leading the way as well. Nick Russia. Don't know if he'll win Finals MVP off of that, but at the very least, the future still looks bright if the Providence Bruins are able to do, what they did this season. It looks like we will have some younger players that can hopefully step up. Glennie does not go for the three-peat for top goal scorer. And in terms of awards, outside of Glennie winning the Butterfield as MVP of the playoffs, we didn't have much, but Ken Glennie might be a name you see in the NHL next season. At the NHL level, Volk wins the Art Ross. Zach Benson wins the Hart. Purcell does it again. 3rd time in 5 years winning the Norris. Benson wins the Bing. Calder goes to Peters. Theo Coe wins Conn Smythe. Copeland won the Vezina. Damn. Masterton the Loxo. Indies head coach wins the Jack Adams. Zach Benson wins the Ted Lindsay. Rocket Richard went to McIntosh. So that is another season in the books. No championship repeat for us this year. Still a very good season. I still think we will be able to consistently be competitive moving forward. But yeah, maybe certain players find themselves in a different couple of spots. Shout out to Daniel Fishbook. Love me some Fishbook. And defensively, Yanni Kaldis is gone, among others, including rebuilding Hockeytown legend. Shout out to those of you who remember. Matt Spencer. And in goal, Dominic Frodel has retired. Cam Johnson, Matt Tompkins. It's always interesting, of course. Ludovic Weber, another channel legend in the past. I think my first ever Bruins series. We've been doing this for a long time, haven't we? I still enjoy it, though. Let's go to the draft. We're going to extend this episode a little bit so people don't presume we got knocked out immediately. And we will see what happens here. A lot of teams in the top 4, 3 out of 4, looking to trade that first pick. We have pick number 38. As I don't know why you'd want to trade out when there's an 82 overall center, but fair enough. So, Ludwig Sjogren not looking very good. There is Oscar Jacobson, who could be okay. Sergio Di Marcio, so we have to risk. Yep, NHL ready. He's the guy. He's the guy. Unless somebody can top that, we might have just landed the steal of the draft in Sergio Di Marcio. I mean, the fact it confirmed he's NHL ready. That guy's going to be insane. Chase Marsh also wouldn't be that bad. But no doubt we have our guy, Maxim Sadikov. Jack Krause wouldn't be that bad. I can't imagine we're going to find anybody better than who we've already spotted here. Yeah, I mean, a lot of good choices, but man, we may have just landed a franchise-altering player for us. There is a medium league goalie as well in Pekarainen, but yeah, we have our guy. Out of nowhere, right wing, Sergio Di Marcio. Not that we don't already have a lot of talent at right wing, but he can play center as well, which could be huge. But the Moncton Wildcat forward, he is our guy. I mean, I'm not upset. We got a 78 overall player, 38th overall. And compared to who else was being drafted before him, Jesus, what a pick. But he is only a medium 6. But he does have X factors. Okay, and he's 17. Two-way forward, yoink, quick pick, shutdown. I mean, this is a future Selke candidate right here. 100%. Again, it's tough to be upset about that pick. Certainly. I was really hoping he would still be a medium elite. No doubt he fits into our plans. No doubt he could play center as well. And based off of some of the other names that were available, yeah, I mean, yeah, we got the steal. You know, there's some other guys here that aren't that bad, certainly. But yeah, that's a very, very good pick. I'm just a little bit disappointed, but I'm trying to put it into perspective that, hey, you know, actually, we just did pretty good there. This guy's apparently 3 years out, but we know he's a low 4, but low 4 is a little bit more usable in a series like this. Okay, well, yep, sorry to the low 4. I don't care how far away this guy is. He's young and he's a medium elite. We have to take that risk. Absolutely have to. A couple of other guys where it's like, okay, maybe, but we don't know to the same extent. Barring... Chendek's not bad, but he's 19. There is Khalil Ronning. He's 20, so that doesn't help. I think we have our guy. I think we do. Some other players here that aren't that bad. We have our guy. We're going to go for the Frenchman, Lorenzo Scrimes, who is a 49, but he is a medium elite at 17 years old. So maybe that works out. And that type of pick is a little bit more worth it in a series like this where he doesn't need to hit a high 80 to actually be an overly useful player. So I am more than okay with that. Next up, though, this is where it could get interesting. I mean, we can look at all of these guys, basically, just to see if someone's actually half decent. Even the 1 out of 4s might be worth the risk at that high-end level. 2 out of 4 low 6s, I'll look at them. There's a medium 4, 3 out of 4 low 4, medium starter goalie and Tuberts. And then you get into the conversation, medium 9s, how worth it are they? So goalie-wise, and we'll definitely have to call a timeout here at some point, there is Timo Toivonen, who could be okay. Can't guarantee it. Stuart Tubert. Old Stu Tube. Bit of a long shot. JC Brophy, 20 years old. He's out. and Edgar Barrett. Bit of an unknown. You know, we could risk it for Toivonen or Tubert. Defensively, Tommy Kaltinen, 5 years out at 18. I mean, it's just a long shot. Raphael Lowe, 5 years out at 18. We just don't know. Pablo Kane, nothing special. Nasir McLaren, nothing special. Jared Ciolfito, nothing special. Yep. We are in best guess territory. That is exactly where we are. So we'll probably just start taking players based... I mean, that guy's 20 years old and 4 years out. We will probably just start taking any of these guys who happen to be next in line. I mean, Powell having gem on him means nothing. Unfortunately, it'd be nice if that actually meant something. But 4 years out for the 19-year-old Sami Vallin. 4 years out for the 20-year-old Pekka Tokinen. That seems to be a pretty consistent theme. 4 years out, 20 years old. Yeah. Okay, well, we don't have to call a timeout because we pretty much know the strategy. So the next guy that we are going to take, unless we just wanted to best guess the shit out of this, but I think we're okay, is going to be Jared Ciolfito, the right defenseman, American, who is a medium 4, 48 overall at 18. Decent potential. Obviously a relatively low overall, unfortunately. Next up, 18-year-old left wing Pierce Dainton. Go for him, who is a medium bottom 6, 52 overall. Not the most unusable player in the world. We will go for Pablo Kane from the Swift Current Broncos, medium 7th. I mean, we haven't had anyone who's like, yep, well, they're never going to make it. Maybe Mario Lehou. He's 20 years old, though, so we'll take him off the list. And I don't know how many players we have left on the list. We don't, actually. Shit. Well, first 18-year-old we see. Right wing, Gael Aguasin is the pick. Medium bottom 6. And in the 7th round... First 18-year-old player we have is Victor Kron from Saginaw, medium bottom 6. So all in all, that was a pretty damn good draft for us, getting who we did at the very top. And O.D. Marchessault, Scrimes, long shot to make it, but is a medium elite. We could have done a hell of a lot worse, really. So we have some contracts that have come due, scouts and all that fun stuff. Big question now is free agency again, because last year was nuts in terms of the deals that were up. Winchester's up to a 73. No doubt we qualify him. He stays. No problem. No need to rush Aginla or Strong as of yet. Defensively, Dragicevic only won 6.5. That's actually not as bad as I would have thought. We will at the very least be able to qualify him, but it is his last year in RFA status. Chow doesn't want much at all. It is also going to be his last year before he is an outright UFA. Ivanov, same thing, and he wants significantly more money. I mean, it is basically the go-to. We're going to qualify everybody. It's just a matter of, will we send them a contract offer? Parker's looking for $800K now, so that's a good amount of money that's come off the books. I'm sure we'll end up keeping Parker too, but let me just double check here. Yeah, Boy Claire, of course, will still be in junior. You could argue if Ciolfito would benefit more from playing in the AHL as opposed to being unsigned. O.D. Marchessault will be signed. Asher Moses still wants a bunch of money, but obviously he burned a bunch of that money. I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. We can sign O.D. Marchessault too. He goes straight to the NHL. No denying that. But for the most part, yeah, it's just going to be, okay, will there be players that are asking for a little bit too much money that we elect not to keep? But for the most part, I would imagine we're keeping pretty much everybody. And then those younger guys, Scrimes, players like that, What do we do with them? What do we do with Jaffrey? We really have had a shortage of centers. Apparently, we should have drafted a few more. That needs to be a focus in those later years. But no one Dragicevic isn't asking for much. Bell is, but $48.3 million. That can go a real long way. And you know what? Really quickly, let's sort this out. So Winchester. Winchester, 2 years left, $1.2 million, but expires an RFA. It is a one-way deal, but I don't think we have to give in. I don't think we have to. Defensively, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one extra defender. That's if we keep Parker, who is still NHL caliber, one of our originals. I can't sign Boyclair. Again, the big decision is Jared Ciolfito, and does he play? It's probably not Ciolfito, it's probably like Ciolfito or something like that. But you know who I'm talking about, at least. That's the important thing. Knowing that Parker's not asking for that much money, can qualify him as well. I think we're gonna sign this guy. I think we are. And hopefully we have an AHL head coach with really good kind of development, tools to make that work out. Forward-wise is where it gets to be a little bit more interesting. So let's see how many people we have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. With one extra. Okay, so that's not that bad, actually. That's not that bad. So Nazarov could be signed. Younger option. Connor Friggin could be signed. Scrimes could be signed. Pyatt's worth a shout. Probably. 20, medium 9. I don't know if Pyatt's actually worth the shot or not. He hasn't been that bad for Shawinigan. But he's a pretty long ways away from being decent. He can't skate worth a damn. We're going to get rid of Roberto Pyatt. Honestly, yeah, for some of these guys too. Reginald Jaffrey. Good in the league he played in. He's unlikely to ever make it. Jimmy Schwartz from Medicine Hat. Has good shot power, but can't really imagine him breaking out either. We will keep Houston at a 68. Dezote. We'll bring you back for the exact contract that you want. We'll qualify Neil because he's a 70. He can be useful. Vukafuji wants a little bit more than I'd prefer. He does, but he is a very useful player at the NHL level. So if he comes back, that's good. And that means we can sign Nazarov for the AHL. We can sign Friggin, and we can sign Scrimes and play some of these younger guys. So Odi Marchessault signs, Dezote's back, Frigon, Vukafuji signs. All right, doesn't look like anyone rejected. So now it's just RFAs. RFAs everywhere. And again, I still think best strategy, even though you could argue we could save money here and there, let these guys go to free agency. At least those that will make it. Dragicevic actually took the qualifying offer. That's surprising, as did Keith. At least we know Dragicevic wouldn't have been that expensive. But the idea is, can we land an offer sheet? That is our only way in this series to acquire another draft pick would be to successfully see one of our players sign an offer sheet. So really quickly, unsurprisingly, I just outright kick my desk. Unsurprisingly, high-level scouts have been difficult to find. Could argue a few of the Bs are probably worth signing at this stage. There are quite a few of them, but we'll go for the As. So now, I was going to say, are there any top coaches? And there are. Again, not going to do the stupid money deal because I don't want to sit here for 6 years to do it. But we can throw our names into the hat here and just see if it works out with any of these coaches electing to sign with us. We'll take it from there. So I guess we will go through this entire offseason. Because again, the longer this goes, the more people might think, hey, you won the cup. And it's a long episode. I like to mess with people that way. I do. All right. Bunch of scouts sign. No surprise, Bolin didn't sign. Linzen goes to Phoenix. Yeah, obviously when you don't... apparently we have a potentially toxic work environment. What am I, the Columbus Blue Jackets? All right. Coaching staff. So we still need 2 coaches here. Banting, I'm going to send you another deal. I am going to send out a whole bunch of deals, in fact. And we will see if anyone bites. Hopefully they do. If not, I'll do the boring thing of scrolling for 6 years to get somebody to sign off video. As to not bore the shit out of you, because, hey, I've said before, if I gotta be bored, why do you? But you know what? I'll show mercy this time. Yeah, we're not having much luck in the coaching department here. Okay, Ariel Banting did sign this time, so that's good. Question is, will we end up with an AHL coach? And the answer for the moment is no, but shockingly, we did get... Whoops, well, we didn't want to go here. Although, hey, the arena, it's lovely. Back to coaching staff. We need one more. One more. And Banting being an A coach helps a lot. Booze, you know what? We're going to send you a deal for the hell of it. And then honestly, there should be B's later on. There's no way that's Brad Marchand. He's 64 years old. So, yeah, we will solve the coaching issue in a minute. Let's see what happens with all these RFAs. And there is an offer sheet, but unfortunately, it's for Trent Winchester. And, yeah, we're not going to let him go. There's no pick involved. Darryl Little, no pick involved. So we'll go ahead and match that from the Aces. As Murray Booze refuses to sign. St. Murray takes the qualifying offer. Derek Bell, Stolars. Ken Glennie. I mean, we said it would probably promote him. So for that reason, we will not let him go to the Toronto Toros. Alan Skinner's back. Russ Ray. So we did get a couple of offer sheets, but none of them for significant money that could fetch us an extra pick. Jonathan Chow could get us an extra third. He's 24 years old. He is an NHL caliber defenseman. He's not going to get much better, though. So the problem is, good awarenesses, decent puck movement, he can't skate worth a shit. I mean, this would be turning a 4th rounder into a 3rd rounder, ultimately, which is pretty good business. He has been good at the AHL level. We haven't tried to promote him. I'm going to give the reminder in a few days as Seikola takes the deal. Obviously, we cannot trade, but I'm going to use this menu as a way to look, Jesus Christ, the trade value of some of these guys, to look at our defense, right? So, obviously, it's Watkins, Dragosevich, they can be on either side. Stajan, right D, Seidenberg, left D, Ivanov, Chow, Bakos, all on the left. Darryl Little is a left side defender. Stolars is on the right. Pierala is a left side defender. Boy, Claire's a left side. I think we let go. I think we let go of Chow. There is a chance that he could perform very, very well at the NHL level if he's doing that at the AHL level, given the passing and the defensive awareness. But like I said, the fact he can't skate kind of scares me. And again, long term, it is turning a 3rd round or a 4th round pick into a 3rd round pick. I think we let Chow go. I think we do. I mean, again, it's only a 3rd round pick, but you never know. And we will let Jonathan Chow go to the Oklahoma City Hogs for the next 2 years. Thank you much. Thank you very much. Thank you much, Mr. Chow. Again, who knows? Who knows what he would have done at the NHL level, but we have enough left defenders that I think we'll be fine either or, especially considering that was an AHL player for us and we got a 3rd round pick for him. But we are here at the start of a new season. We do know that we will have some RFAs still. Delorier is one of the holdouts, as is Ivanov and Caleb Parker. So let's get them signed and then see what this team is for next season. What are we? Oh, do we have any controversies for this roster? Ratzlaff. Ooh. I feel like he dropped a little bit. Winchester's up to a 75. I think Trent Winchester has to be an NHL caliber goalie this year. I do. Well, already there's one big decision. Do we play him at the NHL level, play him within his role for the sake of player development, or does he get one full year as the AHL starter? Defensively, Jesus Christmas. Do we have a lot of NHL caliber defenders? And we almost kept another one. Honestly, Stolarz isn't that far off from being NHL caliber. Yeah, look at this defensive talent. Jesus. Honestly, we might have to base some of these decisions. I mean, if we base it off of potential, right? If we base it off potential, Little's only 22. Skinner's 25. Bakos is 22. Evanoff is 24. Stajan's 23. Seidenberg, and then, of course, Watkins and Dragicevic. If we base it off of potential, then it would be these 6. Seidenberg, Bakos, Little, Dragicevic, Watkins, Stajan on the right. It's not a bad way to go about it. Really isn't. Then our AHL defense is awesome. I feel bad because I thought Virtanen would get the chance. And then do we put Scotty Ratzlaff down in the AHL to let Winchester get the chance with Emil Vinny? Problem is, Winchester won't be the starter. I think we do give Winchester the one season as an AHL starter. But the defenders, yeah, we want them to continue to develop. Landeskog's a 93, which is gross. None of these guys are ready. Of course, depth forwards could very well play. Tollefson stepped up. Glenny is ready to go, which is awesome. And then center-wise, Delorier is a second liner. Murray, he hasn't really jumped up as much as I would have hoped. But I mean, Misa, Delorier, Omboul can run OD Marchessault at center. There are a couple of changes potentially if we wanted to base it off of coach. Otherwise, if we're basing it off of who can develop, Landeskog and Sakala, Moses is safe. So yeah, that fourth line right wing spot could be decided by Keith or Ray, depending on who the better fit is. Or even Dezote, to be honest, at a 69 overall. Left wing side, Neal as a depth forward isn't going to make it. There's Glenny, who's 23. Tollefson's 22. So Antti Tollefson, third-round pick out of nowhere is in the conversation. Then there's Vukafuji. Lindgren can still get better. I think Vukafuji's on the outs. I do. Based on the potential development of these guys, Vukafuji's on the outs. And then, yeah, if Murray's down, it's Misa, Delorier, Omboul, OD Marchessault at center. And instead of finding who fits the coach the best, we find the coach that fits the team the best. Knowing that Antti Tollefson needs to make it into this lineup, the grinder. On the fourth line, Glenny on the third, Lindgren and Bell. Misa, OD Marchessault is a second liner. Delorier can still get better. That's a tough call as to who plays on the second line. And then again, Ray, Keith, Dezote, doesn't really matter. Let's just say we go with Keith because he was here last year. Moses is a second liner but can't get much better. That -1's going to hurt, but we'll probably switch out a coach. I think OD Marchessault's development's a little bit more important than Delorier's at this point, since we know Delorier isn't going to hit a crazy high level. This is likely the team heading into next season, and it's tough not to feel that we couldn't be right back into a potential championship situation. This team looks awesome in a lot of ways. Watkins is 24, Stajan's 23, Dragicevic 26. So, I mean, Dragicevic down to that third line, right? Have Watkins there and then Stajan to try and develop, or even that. This team should be able to get something done. Say we send down Dezote and Ray. A little bit worried about that second line because I don't want to mess up the defense at all, because this coach fits the defense stupidly well. So best lines in the AHL for the moment. Let's just say, yeah, Moses would have to be on the fourth line. Delorier is not a great fit. It could be this. I mean, Sekalo and Marchessault would take a little bit of a hit. But honestly, I think we just test it to see if that -2 was actually that damaging. If it's not, then we're fine. Galen Parker's 26. Harding's not ours, but Ciolfado can make it in. So sorry to Parker, but we're going to go with the younger option. And Matt Klingberg is not ours. Pierala will make it in as well. I don't know what we'll be able to do about the pairings here. Yeah, it looked like we were bound to have a -3, but that's okay. That defense is still pretty good, and we're going to get these guys as much ice time as we can to try and get them to develop. And do we have anybody in this lineup who was not ours? Man, Kalle Ahonen doesn't make the team this year. I honestly thought he was going to be a first-line forward for us based off of last year. Excuse me. So Scrimes is the one that gets held out of the lineup. Should we choose to play it that way? We are going to need people at center. Dezote has 68 in face-offs. No one else is that great, so we can play Dezote at center. Houston's, I mean, at least a 70, so it's not as if he's not very good. Nikulin could probably be out for Scrimes, right? Someone's going to get bumped out of this lineup. I mean, a low 9 in Houston, but he is a 70. He could help this team win. Dezote isn't going to get much better. Don't really want to turn my back on him. Jalen Shepard, Solomon Neal's a 72. Someone's going to get taken out of this lineup. Somebody indeed. We're going to stick with the veterans over sticking with Houston. So let's just go with Johan Hedman as a center, just to keep it easy. So Ray is not going to get much better. Ahonen. Well, actually, we can go with Ahonen as a center. That's not too bad. So Nazarov is a low 6, who's not going to get much better. I mean, do we want to base this off of potential? I think we do. Drop Ray down to a lower line. Low 6 at 19, low 6 at 21, and then Friggin's the medium 9. Murray is a low elite. Shepard's a medium bottom 6. Dezote can go down a line. We can go with Ahonen over Shepard. And Nikulin's a low 6. Neal's a low bottom 6. Jesus. All right. I was hoping there was a better way to fix that top line. But again, I'm not too worried about a -1. I think both teams are set up very, very well. Providence Bruins, defending Calder Cup champions. The Whalers now a year removed from a title. But damn, could this upcoming season, it could be it. We could get right back to the mountaintop.